At the beginning of the film, we are shown a teenager named Nathan Drake, who is usually called Nat. He was suddenly above the clouds and almost fell into the sea, then tried hard to reach the plane in front of him. However, when Nat managed to get into the plane, he fell again. Then, this movie flashes back to 15 years ago. At that time, Nat and his brother named Sam plan to steal the treasure map. Sam tells Nat that they are actually descended from pirates, and they both plan to find the lost treasure. Unfortunately, their actions were noticed by the police. They were both arrested. The police released Nat and will arrest Sam to be responsible. When Nat wants to say goodbye, Nat is surprised to see Sam wants to escape through the window. Sam forbade Nat to follow him. In the end, Sam gave his necklace to Nat and told Nat that he loves Nat very much. Then, Sam went to leave Nat. 15 years later. Now, the grown-up Nat works as a bartender. Besides being good at making drinks, he also has a talent for stealing. Apparently, there was a man who saw the action. The man immediately greeted Nat. Nat told the man to leave because the bar was closed. The man's name is Sully. Sully invites Nat to work with him. He knows Nat is good at stealing. Nat is not interested in the offer, and he is already comfortable working as a bartender. Then, Sully decided to leave. After Sully leaves, Nat is shocked to find that the bracelet he stole is gone and replaced with a name card with Sully's address on it. Then, Nat goes to Sully's house according to the address. Finally, he reaches Sully's house, and is surprised to see that the map he and Sam were looking for is now at Sully's house. Unexpectedly, it turned out that Sully had been waiting for Nat's arrival. Sully tells Nat that the treasure is real. Indirectly, Sully tells Nat that he knows Sam. Before this, he and Sam worked together to find the treasure, and Sam disappeared after doing the mission. Most likely, he and Sully will find Sam and the treasure. But Nat rejected Sully's offer and left from there. After returning to his house, he saw various cards and letters sent by Sam. After thinking for a long time, Nat, who missed Sam, continued to call Sully, and agreed to follow Sully to find the treasure. The next day, Nat and Sully come to the Golden Cross auction event, which will be held in a few days. The Golden Cross is believed to be the key to finding the treasure. Sully assigns Nat to turn off the electricity when the auction starts. Meanwhile, he will steal the Golden Cross. When the time comes, Sully tells Nat to get ready for their mission. Then, Sully is approached by an old enemy who also wants to find treasure. Her name is Braddock. Sully tells Nat that Braddock is a dangerous woman, and she works with a rich man named Santiago Moncada. Santiago is the last heir to the throne of the Moncada family. And he also wanted to buy that gold cross. A few minutes later, the show started. Nat headed to the electric power room. Braddock, who was watching Nat, ordered his men to follow Nat. When Nat tried to turn off the electricity, a man appeared and immediately hit him. Meanwhile, downstairs, Sully buys time by offering a gold cross even though he has no money. Upstairs, Nat fights Braddock's men. Because he was surrounded, Nat decided to jump and hang on the lamp right above the auction. It made everyone panic and run out of the building. Seeing this opportunity, Sully disguised herself as an event officer and took the Golden Cross. After Nat managed to get down, Sully and Nat rushed to leave the building. After successfully escaping from Braddock's men, they headed straight to Barcelona. According to information from a book, the treasure is in the city of Barcelona, and they should have 2 golden crosses to find the treasure. Sully tells Nat that he has actually known the owner of the other golden cross, and will invite her to work together. Once there, they meet a woman named Chloe. Chloe is the owner of the second golden cross. Sully invites her to work together. Unexpectedly, she rejects Sully's offer and doesn't trust Sully. Then, she leaves. Unknowingly, Chloe managed to steal the golden cross that Nat was carrying. This made Nat rush after Chloe, who ran away. When Chloe was caught, Sully appeared and told Nat to let Chloe go, because he was sure that Chloe would not be able to find the treasure, and only the 2 of them know. Chloe, who doesn't know the location of the treasure, agrees to cooperate. Meanwhile, Santiago confronts Braddock and tells her to find information about a golden cross that has been stolen. Then, he begged his father to provide financial assistance for the treasure hunt mission. His father does not allow his son to go on a treasure hunt, because this mission will cost a lot of money. Because of that, Santiago was forced to kill his own father for his mission. Meanwhile, Sully, Nat and Chloe try to solve the riddle of an information book about a hidden treasure. The next day, they went to a church. The church was said to be part of the treasure trove. Besides that, Sully found some clues that led them to a secret place. Then, Nat saw a strange carving on the wall. Then, he pressed it. They saw a secret door that was locked. When they tried to open the secret room door, suddenly an arrow appeared, which was a trap in the church. Then, the secret door was successfully opened. According to information from the book, one of their keys should remain in the church and the other key will be taken downstairs. Nat and Chloe enter the secret passage. And Sully will stay in the church, and will keep an eye on Nat via GPS. Below, Nat and Chloe walk through a secret passageway. Then, they both hear a strange voice. After they made it out of the secret passage, they finally arrived at the nightclub. Turns out Braddock is there too. They try to find the keyhole of the golden cross. And, unexpectedly, they are attacked by Braddock's men. Luckily, Chloe manages to open the secret door just in time. They both manage to escape. In the dark cave, Chloe managed to find a keyhole that was right above it. After inserting the key, suddenly, the room shook, and water came out from below. They immediately call Sully and tell him to quickly find the second keyhole to save them. Then, Sully, who was inside a restaurant, saw the intended keyhole. As he breaks the protective glass of the keyhole, Braddock is seen pointing a gun at him. There was a fight between them. Meanwhile, Nat and Chloe try to save themselves from drowning in the water. Luckily, Sully managed to defeat him and save Chloe and Nat's life. Then, Nat and Chloe see a door. They have to open the door with 2 keys at once. Then, Sully dropped her keys. When the 2 keys are put together, finally the door can be opened. Then, they enter the room. Unfortunately, they didn't find the treasure. They only found a large pottery containing salt. However, that makes the old pottery break. After that, Nat found a map in a pile of salt. After opening it, it turns out that the treasure is in the Philippines. Suddenly Chloe points a gun at Nat. Chloe intends to snatch the map from Nat's hand. Chloe tells Nat that in this mission no one can be trusted. And she also told Nat that actually Sully had lied to Nat about his brother. Then, Chloe beats him until he passes out. She took the map and the golden cross, and left. A few minutes later, Sully woke Nat from his unconsciousness. Nat asked Sully about Sam. He doesn't want to be cheated anymore. He tells Sully to be honest with him. Sully is finally honest with him. Sully says, a few years ago, when he and Sam stole a treasure book, Sam was shot dead by Braddock. He apologizes that he didn't have time to save Sam and had to leave him. Back to Chloe. Surprisingly, it turns out that Chloe is working with Santiago. Due to successfully grabbing the treasure map, Santiago orders Chloe to lead this mission. In a hotel, Sully realizes that Chloe is working for Santiago. Because Chloe is the only person who knows their whereabouts in Barcelona, Sully begs Nat to continue this mission as the person who killed her brother is getting closer to the treasure. Hearing that, Nat is ready to help Sully because he wants to fulfill his brother's dream. At the airport, from a distance, Sully and Nat see Chloe who wants to get on the plane. They also sneaked into the plane, and the plane started flying to Cayamba Island, Philippines. While they are having fun, surprisingly, Braddock kills Santiago. Since then, Braddock will lead this mission. Chloe was shocked and immediately ran away. Then, Braddock orders his men to capture Chloe. In the luggage of the plane, Nat and Sully come out of hiding. And they went inside to find the treasure map. They were shocked to see Santiago lying dead on the floor. After successfully stealing the map, they see Braddock and his men looking for Chloe. Nat, who couldn't control his emotions, immediately asked Braddock that, did Braddock kill his brother? Then, Sully appears and tells Nat to jump. But apparently Nat doesn't have a parachute yet. As a result of Nat's actions, all the items in the plane started falling. His foot got caught in the rope, and he fell. Then, Braddock's men managed to find Chloe. However, Chloe managed to fight back and get into the car. Back to Nat trying to get back to the plane. After Nat managed to get on the plane, Chloe bumped into Nat and made Nat fall off the plane again. Nat follows Chloe to one of the cargo, and he took out the parachute. Finally they both managed to land safely. There is a resort there. They also book a room to rest. In another scene, Braddock and his team have already landed on Cayamba Island, and they are preparing to find the treasure. That night, Nat was confused when he saw the postcard sent by his brother. Nat thought of Sully's words about her brother, who was confident that Nat could find the location of the treasure. They both checked the postcard one by one, but it didn't work. After Chloe falls asleep, Nat remembers something. He lights a fire from under one of the postcards, and suddenly, a text appears that tells him that the golden cross is a compass that will lead to the treasure. Nat examines the golden cross, and it turns out that there is a needle in it. He took out gems from 2 golden crosses and put them together on the map. He finally found the location of the treasure in more detail. Then, he wrote down the coordinates of the treasure's location on a piece of paper. The next day, Chloe saw a piece of paper with coordinates on the table. A few minutes later, Nat woke up from his sleep. Apparently Chloe had left him with the coordinate paper. Then, Nat took the paper in the bottle. It was the original treasure coordinate paper, while the paper in Chloe's hand was fake. Nat already knew this was going to happen. Then, Nat rushed to find a cave in the middle of the ocean, which is the real location of the treasure, and it turns out that Braddock is watching Nat from afar. After several hours of searching for the whereabouts of the cave, finally, he managed to find it. When entering the cave, Nat was surprised to see two ancient ships in front of him. He approached the ship. Then, he got on and entered one of the ships. He was happy after successfully finding what his brother had been looking for all this time. A few moments later, surprisingly, Sully appears. Sully managed to track Nat's location via GPS. Nat shows a lot of gold in the barrel. After that, from afar, they saw Braddock and his men going into the cave. They rushed to hide in the ship. After the whereabouts of Nat and Sully were not found, Braddock ordered his men to lift the two ships using a helicopter. Sully and Nat come out of hiding, and they also took all the gold that was on the ship. Then, they get on the ship and start fighting Braddock's men. They manage to finish off all the enemies on the ship. Then, Sully climbed into the helicopter above her and took over the helicopter. Braddock, who saw his men killed one by Sully and Nat on the ship, ordered his men to go after Sully. Some of his men tried to jump in and fight Nat. The two ships collided in the air, but Sully managed to take the ship away from the enemy by crossing the mountain. However, Braddock seemed to block it from the front. Sully managed to raise his ship quickly and managed to avoid being hit by helicopters. Back to Nat, the cannonball rolls towards him, and he gets an idea. Nat immediately lights the cannon wick and fires it at the enemy, and made the helicopter spin out of control. But unfortunately, Braddock managed to jump and hang on to the ship's rope, and the helicopter immediately exploded and fell into the sea. Unexpectedly, Braddock managed to survive, and then, he threw the ship's anchor into the sea. That made the helicopter that Sully was riding in unable to move. Because of that, the ship tilts and the bag full of gold falls, and gets stuck under the helicopter. On the ship, Nat fights Braddock. Nat has to quickly get on the helicopter before the ship falls into the sea. He manages to defeat Braddock and rushes up to the helicopter. Sully, who managed to get his bag back, saw Nat asking for help. Then, Sully throws her bag at Braddock and makes him fall into the sea, and chose to save Nat. In an instant, Braddock died. In the helicopter, Nat shows off some of the gold he managed to get, which is worth millions of dollars. After that, they see Chloe, who is upset about being cheated on. A few months later, Nat finds a man to exchange his necklace for an ancient Nazi map. At the end of the movie, a man is writing a postcard to Nat. Most likely it's Sam, who is still alive. Then, the movie ends.